Looks like the Steelers are going to play the Bills. It'll be an interesting matchup. That's for sure. I was thinking it was going to be Miami. I mean, Miami's tough. I kind of wanted it that way. The number one offense in the league versus Steelers defense. But the Bills offense is pretty damn good. And their defense is pretty damn good. Tre'Davious White's been hurt, though. What's up, McMahon? We're in there, boy. We're in there, boy. I love it. I love it. Bills are going to be a tough matchup. It's hard to pick out one guy for the Bills. They have multiple guys that they just swing in there on their D line. They just bring in a different, just given the situation, given the down. Any given moment in the game, they can pick and pop and pick and choose. And McDermott's a good coach because they lost Tremaine Edmonds and Tre'Davious White's been hurt, and they're still playing good. But without Tre'Davious White, I could definitely see George Pickens. And I even made a video. Whoever we play, George Pickens is going to be a problem. We got to key in on him, especially without Tre'Davious White, because this is the type of game to where they might actually be able. The Steelers have been building an identity all year, and that's running the ball. And these past 3 games, it's been very easy to run the ball. And I don't think the Steelers should go in expecting to be able to run the ball that easy like they ran against the Ravens, who were sitting Roquan Smith, the Seattle soft-ass Seahawks, and the soft-ass Bengals, not even a playoff team defense. So this is where it becomes a real deal. This is when all these teams are tough and top tier. I was even looking at Miami. They're tough and top tier. And Miami would be a really, really tough game for the Steelers. I mean, they could stretch Pittsburgh out and dot it all over the field. But we got the Bills. And, I mean, Stefan Diggs is nice. And the goddamn shit. They got a couple other receivers. They got an okay running game. I think we can contain their running game, make them one-dimensional, which will be key. And Josh Allen has shown throughout his career that he can throw turnovers and turn the ball over. But he's been a little off this year. He's under 4,000. He had like 3,900 yards or something like that. What's up, Bruin? Still, Mike needs to start Mason. If he starts McKinney, we're screwed. I don't even think it's a question anymore who we start, bro. I mean, these are 3 dominant games by Mason, period. My neighbors is Bill fans. I'm going to have a talk with them. It's going to be a hell of a game, man. They definitely cannot take this team lightly. But one thing I'll say about them is they kind of have a soft division. The Jets were pretty much trash all year. And who else is that? The Patriots are terrible. So they have a really soft division. But, I mean, Miami's really good, and they're really good. So we'll see. Joey Porter Jr. I thought it was going to be Joey Porter Jr. versus Tyreek Hill, which would have been one hell of a matchup for Joey Porter Jr. And this is going to be a hell of a matchup for Joey Porter Jr. And he's going to be a key, I think, in this game. And that's going to be a key matchup in this game. Stefan Diggs, their go-to guy, over 1,000 yards this year. How can we contain him? And Joey's been wanting it, and he's been taking the challenge on. And he's subserted Levi Wallace, subserted Patrick Peterson, who, has lost a step, but Pat Pete's a vet in the league and might go down as a Hall of Famer, probably will go down as a Hall of Famer. So, I mean, Mike says if Kenny is healthy, he's starting. Damn, I didn't see that. I don't believe that. I have to see that to believe that. I would be amazed if they go with Kenny Pickett. I would be amazed. That would be amazed, man. There's no way. I'll have to look into that. Patrick Weaver should get benched. Those two are going to suck. I mean, hopefully Minka's healthy. I think TJ is going to miss, but the Steelers did grab that insurance policy in Marcus Golden, and we drafted Herbig, who's been stepping in and making plays. So hopefully that trend continues. Golden steps up, makes plays. He looks good, and Herbig looks good. Mike said that before the Ravens game. He didn't. He said he benched Kenny. if he's healthy to go into playoffs and Kenny goes, I don't know. I have to look that up, but that'd be insane to me. I don't see that happening, honestly. So I mean, if we can really get it going against his Bills defensive line and outside linebackers like Notre Davius White, so I mean that run up the middle, they might be lacking in the middle. And Samolo is a really good guard. Daniels ain't too bad. Broderick's on that other side. I mean, we've been mauling fools, bro. We've been mauling teams out there, man. Even if they are some weak squads, even before that, when Penny went down and we lost those games, bro, we were really like the first 4 or 5 games. It took a little bit while to get it going, but then they really started to get it going. And now we got a quarterback that ain't afraid to sling it. And if they don't got Tre'Davious White in this game, and I'm making videos and I'm hyping George Pickens up because I think he's got the raw deal this year, and a lot of hate from the fans and the media, especially running with stories and making something out of nothing. And the dude has done nothing but ball this year. And yeah, he's frustrated, but I mean, obviously, bro, this offense has been so bad. Now we're putting up 30 points a game. And if we play Miami, that's what it pretty much would have took. And playing the Bills is going to take 25, 26, 27. I mean, they are a team, like I've been saying, do you have to win at all 3 phases of the game? It comes down to it. And this is a game that's going to be in Buffalo. It could be very snowy. It could be just a downpour of snow, freezing cold. I mean, that is like a theme for Buffalo games. You're going to have them dudes running and jumping through tables and all their crazy shit they do. Their fans are going to come wild. Their fans are going to come charged. This is a hostile environment. And I don't see how you go with Kenny, man. Mason's just been doing it. He's a veteran. And you got to go with Mason. There's no way. He's that dude right now. And if you bench him now, man, the dude that saved your ass, I don't know. Tomlin's gonna have people kicking in his door like they stormed the Capitol building, bro. For real, for real. You're gonna have Yinzers from all over coming down from every hill jack fucking old coal town in the fucking in that this side of Pittsburgh, bro, storming the gates of the Tomlin estate, bro. There won't be no joke if you start Kenny Pickett in this game against Buffalo. That's all I know, bro. That's crazy. We just had snow. I know it's coming down here too. So I got to look at the weather, but we're in the middle of winter right now. It's January. And this, I've been saying all year, this is you got to be able to run the ball in this type of situations, man. These are when you need to run the ball. I don't care. Fuck what the haters say. Yeah, it's great to have a good quarterback. But in these situations, when people are banged up, you got to be able to run the ball. You got to be able to sustain drives. And keeping the ball out of Josh Allen's hands is going to be key because they're great in time of possession. They're great just at doing it pretty much at all. They do it all. They have a good offensive line. So it's, it's not going to be no cupcake. This is no fucking cupcake by no means. They won their division for a reason. And Josh Allen is one of the best quarterbacks in the league for a reason. But he's never got it done in the playoffs. He's done a little bit. I mean, he's had some good games, but he's never got them to the Super Bowl. So we can keep that theme and trend going, hopefully, when we play them. I hate to say it, but it has to be their Super Bowl. Damn, y'all won 10 out of the last 14 games. I mean, we've been on a roll, man. We've been running the ball. And then them last 3, before this 3 in a row, were just ridiculous. The games we never shouldn't even have lost, Ready Red. So I'm scared. Any team that plays Pittsburgh should be scared right now, honestly. I think I forget who Cleveland pulled. I wish I could pull that bracket up. I might just do a whole playoff scenario, do a whole other thing, honestly. But it might be a video. I was going to make a video about this, but I don't know. The lives are just easier. They don't normally do as good, but it's easier. And that last one did all right. Dolphins, Chiefs, Browns, Texans. I'm going to take the Browns in that one, bro. I think the Texans' run is over. The Texans' run is definitely over at this point, and Cleveland's going to win. I think Cleveland is a great team. Joe Flacco's playing great. They can really run that ball. and their defense. I believe in defense. I've been saying I believe in defense all year, and I hate this offense narrative, and that the Rooney Rule's dead and defense is dead. Well, Cleveland, bro, is a top tier team, and with Joe Flacco playing the way he's playing, they got Cooper, who played for Dallas. I know you didn't really like him, Ready Red, but that dude's still a solid. He's like a perfect fit for that team. He's like a possession, just a tough. It's going to get you a lot of catches. Maybe not like George Pickens to where he's getting 19, 18 yards per catch, but he's getting you nice 10, 11, 12 yards, 13 yards a catch. Tough catches that, maybe not every receiver wants to do. Kind of like a Hines Ward, honestly, in a way, I'd say. Packers, Cowboys. Cowboys win that. Rams, Lions. That's going to be interesting, but I'd go with the Lions. Eagles, Buccaneers. I think the Eagles would run roughshod through there. I don't know. They got the Niners, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. Who did that Niners, I guess, obviously got to buy. That's interesting. I say the Ravens are the best team in the league. I'd say Cleveland's pretty good. Buffalo's good. We got Kansas City. We got the Steelers, who have one of the best defenses in the league. I mean, there's good teams in both conferences. So, Niners and the Ravens in the bye. I mean, there you have it. I think Cleveland can definitely run all over them. Dolphins Chiefs is going to be interesting. That's the most interesting game of the day right there. So it's in Kansas City too. So interesting. Two high-powered offenses. That's what the NFL wants right there. That's the game the NFL wants, and it's going to be a good one. I don't know who to pick in that one. I guess I got to go with Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, who's been there, done that. Travis Kelce, a defense is playing better than what it's been playing the past few years. Andy Reid. And, yeah, I got to go Kansas City to get that game and win at home. And then Cleveland gets the upset. Packers, it's always a weird matchup for us. Packers are a good franchise. That's for sure. And Dak has always been, he's pretty much a choker, man. And they got a couple of good playmakers in their secondary. I know that, Green Bay. They can run the ball. Jordan Love has been waiting, kind of like Mason. I don't know how well he's been doing or not doing. They kind of just slide and glided in there, but you can never, Packers are just like the Steelers, bro. You can never count none of them or both of these organizations out. They just build it. They're different. The Packers are a publicly owned team, bro. Like, the fans have stock in the team. Like, the Packers are built different and the Steelers are built. They're built old school, bro. Like, you can't uproot the Packers, bro. Like, you just can't uproot them. That would be insane. And it's such a shitty area. It's not like it's just a cult, though. Same with Pittsburgh. If you would uproot the Pittsburgh Steelers out of Pittsburgh, bro, I would not root for. I'd be like, I don't think I could root for them. I don't think I could root for them. I would just be like, I don't even know. I don't think I could be a football fan anymore. Like, where would you put the Pittsburgh? Like, where send them to New York or some shit like that, or L.A. or London? Get the hell out of here, man. No way. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the Pittsburgh Steelers for a reason, man. And they're Pittsburgh's team for a reason, bro. And this season is why it shows it, bro. And the Rooney way ain't dead, and the Steelers way ain't dead, dude. I love it, man. And Josh Allen's going to be tough. Steelers got to get to him, and no TJ Watt. But the Steelers way, like I've been saying, is about opportunity, man. So Marcus Golden has an opportunity to show he's still got something left in the tank. And he's grizzled, been in the league for a long time. Herbig can show that that's a score at a 5th-round pick, and he could be just that dependable third guy in the rotation that we don't have to go out there and spend big money, and we can just have him right there backing up TJ and Alex Highsmith. This is an opportunity for Alex Highsmith to have to step up because TJ's down, and he just got a big contract. He's like Robin the Batman, and he's got to step up and be Batman. He's got to change the whole game and be Batman this game. And if Minka comes back, that's just a ball hawk out there. And Allen likes to sling it. And the biggest matchup is JPJ on Stefan Diggs and containing them. I think we can contain their run game, really make them one dimensional, and hopefully pray to the Lord they get off to an early lead. That's the biggest key to the victory for the Steelers is getting off to the lead early. So if we win the coin flip, I say take the ball. Fuck it. Usually I defer, and I like to defer because we have a great defense. But I think we want to give momentum. We want to take the life out of the crowd early. And if we can go in there early, win the coin flip, get that first drive it down, or hey, even if they do win the coin flip, force an early 3-and-out, take the life out the crowd because this crowd's going to get fucking crazy and it's going to get wild. And I could definitely see some snow and some bad weather and some muddy football. And it's really going to come down to being able to run the ball. And without Tremaine Edmonds on that roster anymore in Chicago, we got to really try to establish what we've been trying to establish all year and not get away with what we've been doing all year. And it wasn't working early, but now it's working. And you know what play it is. We all know what play it is. Najee Harris up the motherfucking middle, bro. All right, that is the play that's got to win and sign and seal this game, bro. Everybody was counting him out. He lost his C, and he's been balling 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. He's the bell cow. I've been saying he's the bell cow. I was flipping shit the first game when he barely even touched the ball, and Kenny went out there and threw it like 59 times against the goddamn 49ers defense, the best defense in the fucking league. And we got blown the hell out at home and embarrassed. And he deserves the ball more. I mean, it's tough when you got Jalen Warren, though, because Jalen Warren deserves the ball more, too. They both deserve the ball more. And there's only one ball, though. And George Pickens deserves the ball more. And DJ deserves the ball more. And Freiermuth, we got talent on this team. And now Mason just got to take what's there, give it to them guys, and let them do what they do, and let the defense do what they do. And we get this early lead, and then the Pittsburgh defense is going to start teeing off on Allen. They're going to start teeing off on their run game, and they're going to start doing what the Pittsburgh Steelers Blitzburgh defense is going to do, and they're going to force turnovers. And then we just got to smash and grind it down to victory. Smash mouth, old school, Pittsburgh, down your throat. You know what we're going to fucking do. Or tell you what we're going to do, and you still ain't going to do nothing about it. And then when they really start honing in and honing in and honing in and standing on their fucking toes and their heels dug into the dirt, waiting, trying to get footing because it's cold, Mason's going to slip in that play action. And there's that boy, that big X factor who I think is going to dominate, and he's going to dominate his first game in the playoffs. GP14 from Mason Primetime, number 2, Rudolph. Bang, bing, boom. And that's going to be a big connection. We get that lead and grind them out, baby. Mix a little Warren in, a couple dump offs to Washington, Freiermuth, a few screens out there to the DJ, a couple end arounds to Calvin Austin. This offense has been looking nice. And this is an offense to where the defense, to where I think these end arounds, now that I even bring that up because we're always trying to mix that in, they're heavy on the defensive line. They bring in a lot of different guys. So we can maybe get an end around. It's going to be hard to run on this team. And it's going to be very hard to run on this team. And that's what this game is going to come down to. And who's going to win this game is who wins the game in the trenches. Offensively, defensively, bro. Period, point blank. The truth is, right. Packers is always a weird matchup for us. So, I think the Steelers can win this game. This is the type of game they want to play. And I hope it's snowing out because they want to pass the ball more than run the ball, honestly, with Josh Allen. And they have a few running backs, but I think we are way, way better at running the ball. And if it's snowing and if it's rainy, if it's wet, any of these games throughout the except maybe Cleveland, We got the advantage, man. We got the fucking advantage. And I wonder who's going to be favored in this game. Buffalo. I'd say by 3, not by much and not by plenty. Because the way we've been playing, man, it's unbelievable. And we were favored by 4 against the Ravens in their house. Yeah, they were benching people and not starting everybody, but we were favored in their fucking house. And we still ran all over them bitches. They might not have been starting all our starters or whatever, but we ran all the fuck over them bitches. And it's not going to be as easy these last 3 weeks against Buffalo. So the Steelers really got to buckle up. And Mason's can't do what Kenny does. And he's got to not hold on to the ball too long. Just get it out, like I've been saying, and just be a game manager, man. Just manage his game. Manage his team to victory. You got a great defense backing you up. You got a great special teams. You got a solid coaching staff. Now you got a lot of little weapons that you can throw to out there. So I see this team. I got a lot of faith in this team, man. Now that we're in here, I had faith all year that we were going to be here. Now that we're in, I've been saying we're going to win a playoff game all year, so I'm fully confident. I was pretty much confident no matter who we pulled. I think Miami might have been a worse matchup for us. Andy Reid runs like a genius West Coast offense, so I definitely don't want to go up against that. Definitely not. Even with Mason Rudolph playing like he's playing. And their defense is playing good. I like right where we're at, Buffalo. And we still got that last wild card spot. So then I think if we win this game, we take on Baltimore. I like that matchup too. Better than the Kansas City and better than Miami too. We done beat them twice. And now I've been saying all season, 3's a magic motherfucking number, bro. And if we get that win, whoo, I think Cleveland will beat Houston. And then who's playing? Kansas City versus who'd you say? Dolphins, Chiefs. I think the Chiefs will win that game. Maybe the Dolphins. I think it'll be it's tough. I'll go with the Chiefs. First the Browns. And then who knows who wins that game. That one's you could just throw a coin up in the air. And whichever one falls down, I think will win that game. So if Tomlin wins 3 games, I think that'll make him top 10 in playoff wins all time. So 3's that magic number. We just had to win 3 games in a row. Now we have to win 3 more games in a row to get to the Super Bowl. And the road's looking pretty. Honestly, I think we get this win over Buffalo, especially if Tre'Davious White's not in that game. And then we go on to Baltimore, who we've already beaten twice this year and swept. Then we go on to either Cleveland or Kansas City or possibly Miami. Miami, I don't know. I would like, just for the namesake, just to beat the best offense in the league. And everybody that counted the Steelers out and said defense and Rooney Way's dead. That would be great. I would like to meet Cleveland, though. That would be amazing if they can somehow beat Houston, then beat Kansas City or Miami, and then come on to meet us in the AFC Championship. That's how I would like it the most ideally. But I don't know, man. We got Buffalo. So it is what it is. What's up, Daniel Berry, Sports Highlight? We got Buffalo. And I think this is the best matchup they could pull, man. Really. Really. And the best road that they could pull to literally make a motherfucking run at it, bro. You can never count out the Steelers, bro. And I'm really so confident that we are going to walk into Buffalo and it's going to be snowing. It's going to be muddy. It's going to be freezing. It's going to be a defensive backyard fucking brawl, bro, that the Pittsburgh Steelers like they have been all year, are going to come out on motherfucking top and get this win and go on into Baltimore and own Lamar Jackson and own the Baltimore Ravens like the Steelers have been doing for a while now. For a while now. And if we beat the best team in the league, we should be favored to win the Super Bowl from there on in. Who knows? I mean, Miami will probably be favored over us. We play them, or Cleveland, or Cleveland won't, but Kansas City. I don't know. I like our chances against the Bills. I like our chances against the Bills too, sir. Very much so. Very much so. But the key is running the ball. And George Pickens. You got to get both going. You got to get the run game going to get Pickens that matchup we want, single coverage, no Tre'Davious White in there, so they're a little bit hurt and banged up in the secondary. JPJ shutting down Stefan Diggs. I mean, there it is, man. Can we do those things? And obviously, I mean, Stefan Diggs is the type of guy, bro, that he's just going to put up some type of numbers. He's going to put up some type of production. And it's how well we can key in on that, make them one-dimensional. I mean, and I think we can make them one-dimensional. I think we really can do this. We can do this. We can do this. And we have to get that lead early, and we have to establish the run early. And if they do this, it'll just everything, like I've been saying, is all going to come together. Give that defense a rest so they don't have to take all the reps out on the field all game long. Because Buffalo's got a lot of backs, a lot of different tight ends, and they're a team that likes to sustain drives too. And McDermott, yeah, I think he's a pretty decent coach, man. I mean, he's been winning. He hasn't got it done yet, but he's been solid, and he's been taking like a stranglehold of that division. So he's making a name for himself in the league, man. And he's a solid coach. And, you know, there's a lot of legacies on the line now for a lot of these coaches. Harbaugh, fucking Reed, Shanahan. I mean, all eyes are on Shanahan. McCarthy in Dallas. I mean, that's a big thing. McCarthy kind of got like the Tomlin thing. Because every pretty much Ben gets all the credit, all of Tomlin's success. Some fans want to give to Tomlin. Well, McCarthy, same way. A lot of people will say the only reason he got a Super Bowl is Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, there's a lot of, and if McCarthy can get another Super Bowl to be a two-time Super Bowl winner, Harbaugh can get another Super Bowl to be a two-time Super Bowl winner, Tomlin, Reed goes on to win 3 Super Bowls, and then he'll go down as one of the greatest ever. Like, for real. So there's a lot of legacies on the line right now. McDermott cementing his name in to with a lot of these great coaches in the AFC right now. Shanahan's never done it. He wants to really cement his name into the NFL record books. They're the best team in the league. So really, all eyes are on him. And that whole situation in San Francisco, because there's a lot of drama. They kind of have like a quarterback carousel like us. And then Brock Purdy just came out of nowhere and lit the world on fire, kind of like Mason's doing right now. So who knows? And Brock Purdy was a 7th-round pick. Mason Rudolph was an All-American, one of the best college football players ever to fucking do it, bro. He was in down there, where is he playing? Oklahoma, I think he was. Bro, just throwing the ball all over like crazy, like a country mile. And we got George Pickens, who averages 18 yards as a clip, with shitty-ass, trash-ass Kenny Pickett pretty much the majority of the fucking year. And Babitsky throwing him the ball. So now you got Mason just going out there looking fucking free, looking loose, going through his progressions, and just looking prime, prepped, ready, groomed, ready to go. Got the Dapper Dan fucking look, comb over his shit, looking like Dennis the Menace out there, combing that over and just clean shaven, ready to go. And no backwards hat, got his suit. He's ready for business, bro. And this team's ready for business. And this team is set up for the next 3 years. And I love it. And I love it. And I love it. Fitzpatrick back, Casey back. Oh my gosh. That's exactly what we need. A little help over the top for JPJ to help contain Stefan motherfucking Diggs. And really, up front, dude, Landon Roberts is back. Great run stuffer. Miles Jack has been playing well. And then, even what's his name? Robinson, bro. I think Robinson, dude. That boy could be an X factor too. I'm talking about how Pickens needs to be an X factor in this shit and in all the playoffs because he does. He's pretty much been an X factor all year, and you can even make a case that he's like team at least offensive MVP Pickens. It'll go down between him, Warren, Nas. It's a team effort, really. So, but Robinson, bro, that dude's beast. He is solid. And I think he is kind of really a really good linebacker. I think we pretty much got our linebacking core cemented. I've been saying we need to draft an inside linebacker, but now, really, I think he might honestly put on a show in the playoffs. Silver Streak. Harris, see, I got to do this more. So, sorry, audience and commenters. That's why I'm just like talking to nobody if you watch it back. But here we go. Harris has an opportunity to prove his number one draft was worth it. Porter on Diggs will be key. Mason will keep the D from stacking the box. It is possible for the Steelers to take it. I agree. I think that's what the game plan will be. And you got to make them respect it. And when it's there, you got to take it. And you got to mix in a little bit of passes here and there. And mix in Jalen Warren. And once it starts clicking, it's going to be nice. No fuck up punts, too. Because our punters sometimes, that's one weakness. That's a big weakness. We keep rolling with him. He hasn't been good. And the punting game has been a problem for the Steelers for a while. It's a big opportunity for JPJ. And to say that it's like an opportunity to say he's a bust, I don't want to say he's a bust, bro. I mean, he's had 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons. I think he's basically the go-to guy. If you really break it down and look who touched the ball the most, I would say it's probably him. Him or Jalen, it has to be, who's touched the ball the most this year on offense. And it's Najee. And I think he should get the ball more. And just like Mason, you got to ride the hot hand in a running game too, and it's Najee. That doesn't mean you don't go away from Warren. You definitely mix him in. I mean, you can do all kinds of things. Get him on the field both at the same time. They've been mixing Jalen Warren in on an end around. I think they can honestly pop an end around this game. They can catch him slipping on like a 1st and 10, and they go like real heavy with their D line. We can catch him slipping on a quick end around to like Calvin Austin or some shit, or maybe Jalen Warren, and he can pop one. We beat them in preseason with starters playing. Granted, it's preseason, but still, we can still roll with them. And that was a Pickett's bum ass playing. I think we dominated him that game. I can't remember. That's so forever ago. How Harvin sucks in cold weather, and he has to leave Pittsburgh. Hopefully, it's cold weather, man. That would be great for the Steelers, bro. Honestly. Make sure everybody hits the subscribe and the notification bell. These lives have been getting better, especially with you guys' comments. Even if it's like 7, 8, 9, 10 in a box, like you guys bring good comments, like straight up. Keep asking questions because this is open When I do my lives, it's open forum. And then the videos, I can really break down a subject. Sometimes, like, I mean, I really don't care what we go with. And the content's going to start getting better too. The videos definitely are going to start getting better because I'm going to get OBS here eventually. I got my laptop. I just got to download shit, get OBS, a little bit of a better mic because my mic comes through shitty sometimes. I've noticed, so I got to work on that. I got to get that better, and the content will be better. I noticed I got a copyright. It's not a strike, but a copyright tag on one video. I put a little bit of a Pickens video in the video, so I can't do that. I can't really put video, but I could pull up memes and quotes and shit like that, and maybe even audio. I might start cutting audio from Mark Madden's show and chopping it up, or like anywhere over the internet, just audio, and then I can upload it to podcast form. And I can chop up all kinds of shit with this. Oh man, there's gonna be all kinds of things I can do. This is gonna take a little bit of time. So I mean, I can play with it definitely for like off-season content with draft and shit like that. But fuck the draft right now. We're looking to go to the goddamn Super Bowl, bro. Harris isn't a bust. That written if he kicks ass now, folks will finally shut up about him being a big bruiser late in the game. It's a nice weapon to have. We just got a really great practice run in bad weather. It's fresh on our minds. Smoking that Bills pack early out here. That's that COVID. That's COVID, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like Bill Clinton, dude. I puffed, but I never inhaled. So, hey, we need to get this game. That's all I know, man. That's all I fucking know. And then, dude, there's nothing the Tomlin haters can really say no more, man. And I'm a big Tomlin defender, dude, and there's nothing they could say no more, dude. He's won without Ben. If we win 2-3, oh my lord. He's a top 10 coach in playoff win history. 11 gets him there, and he has 8 right now. Then he would be 11-8 in the playoffs. He's what? I think 7-8. No, he might be 7-8 right now. It's either 8-9 or 7-8. I think it's 8-9. That Cleveland game put him at 8-9. So he's got to get this dub and get to 9-9, 10-9, 11-9. And in the next season, bro, he'll be a top 10 regular season win coach of all time. And it's going to be sweet next year. I mean, I think we're set up, and I think we're going to be one of the tougher teams in the league, and then we're going to be getting a lot more respect in the rankings, and there's going to be more of a target on our back this year, and we're going to have a little bit of a tougher schedule. And we'll see what the division does to get better. And Joe Burrow comes back healthy. We'll see what Cleveland and the Baltimore do, because they got decisions and they got question marks, really. I think Baltimore's really got a good 3-4 year window, honestly. They're set up. And Cleveland's pretty set up. I mean, they're going to get Nick Chubb back next year. But who knows what they're going to do with Deshaun Watson. I'd say that's their biggest question in their whole quarterback room. So they got big questions, too. I think we draft a quarterback, bro. Maybe Phoenix, depending on how we go for in the playoffs. I think that's an option. See, I don't really even want to talk about draft picks, but see, it seems like a lot of you guys like, every time I'm in here, people bring up draft shit. So I'm going to bring draft content. And I'm really going to start looking into some of these prospects, doing my mock drafts, and, uploading a lot of draft off-season content. Because it seems like most of the subs don't want no NBA content. It's basically just all Steeler fans. That's all I put. So if anything, if I do anything outside of Steelers, it'll be Pittsburgh Penguin, I would say. It's looking like it's probably going to be maybe college football, because obviously that's good for the draft and it's good for the Steelers, and I can, mix them both in together. And then Penn State too, cover a little bit of Pitt, local regional shit that way too. Because Penn State, they got some good ass linebackers. I don't know if they're declaring for the draft or not, but they got some good ass linebackers. And I've been saying Steelers need a linebacker, but even in this live, I said maybe not because I think Robinson's good. He's still unproven, but that dude looks huge. He looks like, given the opportunity to shine, he could shine. So I think our defense is ready for this moment, definitely. Even without TJ Watt. We went out there and got an insurance policy because we went through it last year. We seen what it was like without TJ Watt. So they went out there and spent a draft pick for Herbig. They went out there and spent money on a veteran who's had double digit sacks in his career at the outside linebacker position in Golden, who's making some plays last game against the Ravens. And a lot of people were saying it was crazy when we signed Highsmith, which he's kind of slumped a little bit this year, which is sad. But he's young, and we have him locked up for years to come. And that deal might end up looking like a steal, especially if he shines in this game. And this is a big opportunity for him to shine, man. And step up and fill some major big shoes. You played in the rain against Third Street Ravens team. You haven't played in the snow like Buffalo has every year. That's true, Kenneth. That is true. Buffalo is ready for that, too. And they're built to play like that. And that's what I've been saying. It's not going to be no cupcake to run over this team. Not at all. Because I don't even know all the names on our defensive line. But they're like the Steelers, bro. They can just swing and swang so many different people. Like the Marvin Lill, the Steelers. Loudermilk. Keanu Benton. I mean, dude, there's so many people. Robinson. Dude, there's so many people we can rotate in on our front seven. It's ridiculous right now. And even without TJ Watt, bro, it's just another guy has to step up in the rotation. It's a rotation. It's a system, bro. And this Steelers system in this Rooney way ain't dead. And McDermott is pretty much creating himself a nice system because they're down Tre'Davious White. They lost an all-star inside linebacker to free agency, and they're still churning and playing well defensively in Buffalo. So, and let's be honest, outside of these last 3 games against really scrub defenses, this offense hasn't been good. So, they got to calm down. I seen how hyped they were in the locker room, walking your trap, take over your trap. They were fucking going nuts. Nuts. And I mean, that was a huge win, and they deserved a party. And they were all on time and on rhythm like this offense has been the past 3 games. And that's what it's going to have to take. The defense is not going to win you this game with just miracles and you do absolutely nothing on offense or go in there and turn it over like Babitsky. So Mason's got to be careful. He's got to not force it. But if it's there, not be scared to fucking take a shot. And when you do take a shot, put it to where only your guy can get it in those single one-on-one matchups. And just don't do nothing stupid. And open it up for Naj and open it up for Warren. And things will look easy and things will get pretty. And with the lead, this defense, like I've been saying all year, is going to be even better. Because people have been getting down on this defense because they've been giving up some yards here and there in a few games. But when you're leaving them out to dry all game long and they're forcing turnovers, bro, of course, like a Devontae Adams is going to make some plays occasionally, bro. Like it's going to happen. Eventually, and Amari Cooper is going to make some plays, bro. I don't get like it's just he's an NFL player, man. Eventually, a Derek Carr is going to make some plays, even though he's not that good. Or C.J. Stroud made a ton of plays. We let him have way too many plays. That was a bad game for the Steelers, but C.J.'s been looking nice. And that's going to be an interesting game to see too there, but that's a whole other story. Cleveland and Houston. I'm going to love to watch that one, though. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good playoff, so I'm glad we're here. The Tomlin heat comes from not having a playoff win in 6 straight years. The team needs a playoff winner. There will be a new ugly team record since 1967 Super Bowl era started. Yes, that would be an ugly era record to hold, and that is a knock on Tomlin. And this is huge because even though I've been saying I think we're set up, and this is a win season for the Steelers, If we don't win this playoff, hell, if we don't win a Super Bowl, Tomlin's still going to get knocked. But if he loses this playoff game, it's just going to all be forgotten. It's just going to be another one and done, meant nothing season. Tomlin can't win in the playoffs, and that's going to be the narrative big time on Tomlin. And there will still be that cult and that sect that is going to hate on Tomlin regardless. Like I said in one of my other lives, if the Steelers could go 15-1, 16-1, and we lose to, like, I don't know, the Prixies. We'll just say their imaginary team that's the worst team in the world because they're called the Prixies. All right, and we lose to the Prixies. That one game we lost to the Prixies, that's it. Tomlin that's his fault. He needs to be fired. You can't lose to a team like the Prixies. All right, and that's just the motto of Madden. All right, and that's never gonna die until Tomlin is enshrined into Hall of Fame and his fat ass has a coronary. That's how it's going to be. All right. Because I don't even know why the X keeps his slander and dumbass on the air, but they do. The 1059X, give me a contract. Put me on the air in front of your audience, and I'll have a meeting out of my hands. All right. Just give me that opportunity like Mason has to walk into Buffalo and whoop their fucking ass and give the Steelers an even longer and better holiday miracle. It's going to be a great game to watch, boys, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Here's Kenneth now. That's not true. He had a playoffs win with Roethlisberger and Super Bowls, too. I mean, he did. He has 8 playoff wins, but it's been a long time. And that's another thing. He Tower built his team. So, and he's playing under Ben, and Ben got all the credit. That's another comes from the Madden cult and the Madden sect, pretty much. The Russ Grimace, who said we never should have hired Tomlin. We should have hired Russ Grimm. They're still on. Madden was the one that slandered and put out a fake story that the Steelers were going to sign Russ Grimm, and it never came true. So he's had a fucking grudge and a vendetta ever since against Mike Tomlin. Period. It's about him more than anything because his ego shattered because he wasn't right. Like, I don't really care. But, dude, this is what I've been saying, that we should have been rolling with Masons. We never should have drafted Kenny. And I've been pretty much right this whole time. And I was saying Ben was washed the fuck up when everybody was saying I was crazy. And you got all these people just jocking on Ben. He did a lot for the franchise, but straight up early in his career, he was fucking carried, bro. Fucking carried. And even late in his career, Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell carried his fucking fucking ass, man. Get the fuck out of here. Man, he's overrated. Bum. Literally, man. He's over. I hate to go that hard on him, bro. But the way that's too hard on him. But, man, this shit with his podcast and all this drama, man, he wants to throw his name in the ring and just add fucking fuel to the fire of the bullshit, man. It's ridiculous. And he was like that throughout his whole goddamn career. And he still wants to throw fuel on the fire, man. It gets kind of sad, man. And I heard Ernie saying that he should let these people on his podcast. Let Le'Veon on, let Antonio on, let Mason on. It's like he has Tomlin on and then kisses his ass and then starts launching fucking bombs at him. But, like, it's crazy. It's fucking crazy, man. And he's mad. He was mad when Kenny was drafted. He didn't want to see Kenny do good. He didn't want to see Mason do good. He didn't want to see Dobbs do good. He didn't want to see nobody else get paid. It was all about me, I'm Ben. So I'm glad to see we're back to smash mouth defensive football. And it ain't about the quarterback and all this bullshit, man, they be talking about. Yeah, you got to have a quarterback, but, man, you got to be able to run the ball, especially now. And especially in a game like this, if it's going to be snowing. I've been saying this shit all year. All fucking year, bruh. And we're going up to Buffalo. Like I said, a team that is known historically to have bad weather games. So we are built for this moment. We are built for this fucking moment. And now we have a quarterback who is looking, I mean, I keep saying it, like a fucking pro in the game. Guy that's been in the league for a long time. Guy that was an All-American in college. A guy that has some of the most passing yards in NCAA history. Who knows? Maybe this is a guy that is your quarterback for the next 3 to 5 years for the Pittsburgh Steelers to lead this offense, to put us over the hump, to get us that first round bye like the Ravens have right now, to which we probably should have right now, to just be chilling and sitting pretty next year, and then only have to win 2 games, blah, blah. And then what? Tomlin will be like a top 6, top 7, top 5 coach in playoff history and NFL history. And then what? 2 Super Bowl? Dude, come on, bro. Let's just not get ahead of ourselves. Let's just establish that dive up the middle. And then when they bite, and it's going to be hard in this game. White ain't going to play. So I think Pickens, if whoever's guarding him, they still got good safety help over the top. So you can't lollygag and lollipop one in there, Mason. If you got that, if there's a safety one coverage over the top, and it's just one of those guys, Poyer or whatever the other one's name is, Micah Hyde, I think Pickens can win that matchup. But you want to put it where he can't get it. If you lollygag it and you throw it a little bit behind him and you throw it to where he has to stop his momentum, like Kenny's been doing all fucking year long, Micah Hyde can undercut his ass, make a pick, and turn it into points, or set up Buffalo and Josh Allen for easy points, and we can't have that. Turnover battle is definitely going to be key like any game. I mean, football's really an easy game if it comes down to it. And it's really going to come down to who wants it more and who's going to punch who in the mouth harder and who's going to take the punch the hardest, the longest for 60-minute game? And it's like that speech in Any Given Sunday, man. Al Pacino, who's going to fight the hardest for that inch? And I feel this team right now, the way I was seeing they was dancing and celebrating and going crazy after beating Baltimore and winning 3 in a row, this team is ready to die for each other. This team is ready to, like TJ Watt, is to run through walls for Mike Tomlin. And this team's ready to really possibly make a run at it like we did in 05 and win 3 in a row. And I've been saying 3 is a magic number for these past few broadcasts. So 3 could be that magic number for the Steelers this year. It really could be. All right, let's catch up with the comments. I'm sorry. Just look, Vegas has us as a 10-point dog against the Bills. Oh, my gosh. Bro, I'm about to go throw money on the Steelers right now. I'll take that 10. The last playoff win was against Kansas City, and Alex Smith was quarterback. That was 6 going on 7 years ago. Boz had 6 field goals. I agree we shouldn't have drafted Kenny. He still hasn't proven himself better than Rudolph. No, the facts, Rudolph has played better with less time and has done way more than Rudolph with less time, or Pickett with less time. The Steelers were leaks that Mason was the best learning quarterback at the last 2 training camps. Now I believe it. I mean, he played well in the preseason, and really, he didn't get that opportunity. Carl Hungus, that's a funny name. You must be a big Lebowski fan. Mason will probably leave us then. What the fuck will we do next season? I don't know, man. That's the biggest question mark. I've been talking about it. I said Mason's playing for a contract. I made a whole video titled Mason Rudolph is playing for a contract. So that's going to be a huge question. For what it's worth, a Pitt radio sports announcer claims Mason will only play for the Steelers next year. He will take a real estate gig like he planned before his current success. I think that's a good attempt at sarcasm because he's about to make a lot of money, bro, especially if we keep on winning the way we're winning and dominating teams, bro. That's all I know. Next season, if we are stuck with Mason leaving, Kenny at quarterback 1 and not drafting a quarterback in round 1 and not trading for a better quarterback than Kenny, Steelers would be screwed totally. I think Rudolph wins this. He is our starter next year. Pickett needs to go with the other guy, get a new second guy for backup this game. I mean, get a new backup for this game. Kenny's a backup for this game. Kenny's got to be the backup. You don't fuck.
Kenny or Babitsky, bro? Are you crazy? Babitsky will just go in there and say he used to play for Buffalo. He'll be like, I know a few guys upstairs. Why don't you guys slide me a few fucking money under the table, and we'll fucking get this done real quick and easy. Babitsky's got to go. He shouldn't be on a team. He should be cut. He should be on a practice squad, and he shouldn't be allowed to dress for this playoff fucking game, bro. Straight up. And we should bring in another extra linebacker, an extra DB, or an extra running back, or an extra receiver, or something, and get his ass off the fucking roster. Fuck Babitsky. Fuck Babitsky, bro. We should have a fucking bye right now, bro. Seriously. Fuck that bullshit. Thanks, bro. Fucking that bum. The hell out of here with that fucking bullshit. That fucking choking ass loser. He's a bum. He's making like 12 million. He's a bum. If I'm Mason's agent, now we're gonna bring that all into the play. If I'm Mason's agent, I want 13 bare minimum. Bare minimum. I'm saying you're giving that crap shit show fucking $12 million. Well, goddamn it, I want 13, or I'm not suiting the fuck up, or I'll go suit up in the Canadian Football League with Johnny Manziel or some shit. I don't even know. Fuck that bullshit, bro. But if I'm made seriously, bro, I mean, he saved the fucking day, saved the day, and is playing better than any quarterback has played all fucking year, dude. In the past like 2 years, shit, better even when Ben was here. All right. And like I honestly felt Ben was holding his team back. And everybody said I was crazy, bro. So I gotta get a little victory lap in. I'm sorry. I gotta victory lap it a little bit. Because Madden wants to push this narrative over and 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 over again. And I want to really hear what he has to say if we win this playoff game. Oh, make up some excuse. Oh, sure. And we will lose the next game. Oh, we won a Super Bowl. Chuck Noll would have won a Super Bowl. I grew up watching Chuck Noll. And back when they drove the pickup trucks and milk trucks to the stadium. That's what I said. Jack Lambert had to work construction in the summer because the NFL was nothing then. It was just started. It was just like still coming off of the floor. And now it's a business. Now it's unionized, and now it's on every fucking major network. And there's fucking they talk about it 24/7, 365. Multiple podcasts, and multiple players have podcasts. It's insane. It's just so talked about and the most viewed, pretty much televised event in America. So it's a big money business. It's kind of funny. Someone like Madden, who sits on his fat ass all day. Like if I keep doing these live, I mean, I could really roast Madden if I sit here and spend all day roasting his ass. I don't want to take that much time though. But it's just funny that someone like Madden, who sits on his fat fucking ass all day long and stuffs gyros and goddamn permani sandwiches down his throat all day and washes it down with IC Iron City Light or whatever the shit show of Pittsburgh beer that he's drinking that their station's probably giving him so he can make a clown of himself and just, make a clown show of the Steelers and just slander everybody. Like, to think that players who are in the entertainment business, essentially are in their entertainment business, shouldn't negotiate a fair contract. I mean, it's just the way the league is, bro. And you're not going to keep everybody. And I don't care what team you are, there is going to be some type of drama when it comes to the contracts, man. Because these agents and these agencies are in bed with a lot of these media networks and shit. And that's what they do. They're more or less player agents than fucking about what's best for the team. They're just trying to get stories and sell stories. Like Stephen A. He's like a player agent every year. A dude that said we are done. It's over. I'm a fan, but not really. I just do it for the ratings and attention. And they're the most talked about and storied franchise in the league. And they're relevant every year. So Babitsky. Getty, quarterback one next year, especially with Tomlin still, guaranteed not to reach the playoffs. You don't watch Big Ben's commentary on Steeler games? No, I don't watch his commentary. I don't watch much. I need to start doing more of that though. I have been thinking about it. I've been subscribed to it, and I put I'm going to make a playlist. I've been adding playlists to my channel, and I'm going to add a Ben Roethlisberger section to where Phil with this podcast. So I did already video about it. There's going to be a lot of drama always coming from Ben. He's always going to be talking about this team. And you got players like Jerome Bettis, Hall of Famer, Tomlin, who, if we win this playoff game, I'd say he's definitely pretty much surefire Hall of Famer. Going on his podcast. Kenny Pickett going on his podcast. A lot of big names. So I was listening to Ernie. Like, I like what Ernie was saying, bro. I would like that. I'd like to see, like, the people he has beef with. And Todd Haley would be a good guest to go on there, bro. I'd watch that. Bill Cowher. I don't know if he could pull Bill Cowher. If he could, I don't know. Did he pull Bill Cowher? I don't know. Shout out to you guys, though, because you guys really help the live go along, and you add valuable comments. The hell of a commentary, for sure. So, Steelers freak. Art and Mason are close, and the Steelers were the only team willing to keep him. You might be right, but Mason is all faith and loyalty. Besides, if I fire him, I would bank on Kenny busting. I mean, $13 million for today's quarterback market is not a lot. It sounds like a lot for Mitchell Trubisky, but it's not a lot. Like, you got quarterback Daniel Jones making $35 million. So we're going to have to pay. We're going to have to pay Mason. And then I don't know if you just give him the reins. You make him compete. You give him the reins. If you pay him, I think we go forward with Mason and Kenny as backup. I think that's what we do. I think we invest 3 years into Mason. We give Tomlin an extension, which will give him 3 years left. And not invest too deeply in that quarterback room. Because I've been saying it's not about the quarterback. And the way Mason's playing, Kenny can still get better. Mason can still get better because he's still in his prime. He's 28, going on 29. He's still in his prime. So it's another thing Ernie was saying and Real Shit was saying, which I'm thinking I'm tending to, and then even Stocky saying on WTAE, he's betting Kenny could be the starter. I'd bet Mason, but I'd say it's going to be a battle between them two. And then maybe you draft a guy, not high, but in the third or the fourth, and you got to let Babitsky go. With the 100,000,000%, you got to let Babitsky go. And salvage whatever money you can get from his terrible contract. I know he's live for every game. Outlets were saying, I seen that too. And I don't know what's going on with Russell Wilson and why he got benched in Broncos Nation. I don't know really that whole damn story with Russ, but Russ is a Super Bowl winning quarterback with pedigree. So that's what I'm saying. If you're going to spend money, what if you're going to, let's just say Mason wants 15, 13. We'll just say 10. We'll just say 10. But if you get Russ for 15 or 20, you take Russ for 15 or 20. If you can get Kirk Cousins for 20 or 25, do you take Kirk Cousins for 20 or 25? To really put this team over the top? Or do you go forward with Mason, Kenny, and really buy into that Rooney way of football and build this team up? Because, like, Ben has been wanting
and was crying about for the longest time. Build this team up around them two and that quarterback room. Maybe bring in a third wheel. Try to find a third wheel. It's young. It can at least bring some type of in the back of your mind. You never know. I can't fuck up. And then first round we can get a center. Second round we can get another cornerback to play along JPJ. Third round we can get another wide receiver that they can throw the ball to. And then another, just solidify the defensive line, get another defensive line in the fourth, and then another linebacker in the fifth, and a safety, even maybe a safety in the fourth or the fifth, and then a linebacker, and then a defensive lineman, and then another offensive lineman. Or maybe try to find a punter, get a nice punter. Maybe even spend a second on a receiver. And then the new offensive coordinator is going to be key. Key. Dude like Mason aren't all about bank. He wants a raise for sure, but he's thankful that Art made the call to keep him. I'm sure he is. And Mason is the type of guy that is going to say all the right things. He's not going to make it into a circus, but I feel his agent is going to have a position and a bottom line, as I think in any business should be. And that is just the sad part of the game. Like this sad part of the game. That is the way the league is. As much as you might not agree with it, and wish everybody would take a pay cut to play for the Steelers and just play for free. And just be them old school construction worker guys. Like Mark Madden says, but bro, come on. And if we keep winning, which I think Buffalo's a great matchup, like I was saying earlier, shit. I don't call it shows. Is there even a chance we can get a better draft than whom? I mean, that's the thing with the draft pick. That's why we invested a first round draft pick with Kenny. Do we want to invest a whole other first round draft pick in another quarterback? I don't know. Especially if a shutdown corner sitting there, a guy that can be a Hall of Fame center. I'd say like a center, a running back, even like a linebacker, are guys that are not as like a quarterback is like wine. They get better with age, and you never know what you're going to get with a quarterback, really, because really it's a lot of the head game too. Because Kenny might just like a lot of what Kenny I think is just in his head. Is in his head. He just can't. He's got so much on his shoulders, and he's just not on time, on rhythm, and he's just off. Who knows what it is? But he's just not there. But like a running back, you're just a beast of an athlete. A linebacker, you're just a beast of an athlete. A defensive lineman, you're just a beast of an athlete. An offensive lineman, you're just a beast of an athlete. Say there's not as much as risk taking one of those guys. I think those are guys you can plug and play instantaneously, like Broderick Jones. And I think in the first round we can find a center that could be Pro Bowl caliber or one very above average to plug and play to replace Mason Cole. To take this team, this rushing game to the next level. And really, I was even thinking about doing this, and I'm probably going to make videos about this because real shit keeps talking about it. And I don't know who keeps talking. Probably 93-7 a fan keeps talking about this, but like Justin Fields to the Steelers, like, and even they say in all the broadcasts that you got to build to beat the players in your division and the teams in your division. Justin Fields is a quarterback that's ran for 1,000 yards in a season. We have basically two backs that's ran for damn near. Najee has ran for 1,000 yards. Jalen is very close, if not ran for 1,000 yards. I don't think he cracked it, but he was very, very close to cracking it. We can have a team that runs for 3,000 yards next year. We can just bring Smash Mouth back to Smash Mouth, Army, Navy, defensive football, and then Justin Fields can just throw it down the lot to George Pickens. But I don't really like that type of offense. But we would really change the game if we did something like that. Really, really change the game. But I feel Tomlin is kind of old school, bro. He's old school. He don't want no run, throw, pass, flash ass quarterback. He don't want that shit. He wants a quarterback that can stand in the pocket. He wants to run it. He wants to line you up and run it. And we have been doing it. So we got the dynamic duo coming back. Jalen Warren might hold out too. We're talking about Mason getting money. I can see Jalen Warren definitely holding out in the fucking goddamn off season, bro. Straight up. Mm. Steelers are lucky if Kenny checks to see if two options are open before he throws the ball. Kenny has no awareness and doesn't check his options. I agree. That's a big difference with Mason and Kenny that I've seen. That Mason is just so much better going through his progressions and his read and his motions and keeping it and he's on time. Just like bump, bump, bump. He knows where everybody's at. He's great. It seems like he's just really good at reading the defenses. And I've said that in the last few lives. And he even said it in his press conference that I've said in the last few lives. Yeah, what's the one thing you learn sitting on the sidelines? Reading defenses. And it shows. That he's light years ahead of Kenny Pickett, and I might even say Babitsky in that department. Sad to see this drama going on with him and Ben. Like, Ben got absurd and put himself into this shit. So I have to start watching his shit. And there's all these narratives in the fan base, really, about the team. You got so many Tomlin haters, supporters, Ben lovers. I mean, I'm a Ben fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Ben fan. But, man, it's like, dude, you've made some of the most money in the history of the league. Now you gotta hang around doing some lame podcast on YouTube, like throwing cheap shots. The whole organization. Like, I don't know, man. I just don't like it. I'm sorry, I don't. Ben hates Mason. Yeah, he's trying to walk it back. I did a whole video about it. Channel 7, I seen it. Do you know who our quarterback for next week is? Dude, I don't think it's any question is Mason. Somebody was in here trying to say that Tomlin's going to start Mace or Kenny. And I said the Yinzers will kick down his door if fucking he does that. What's up, Runt? Do you know who our quarterback for next week is? Runt is definitely Yinzer of the year. She kept faith all fucking year. Shout out to Run. She kept faith all year long. Even when it was looking bad as bad got. She was even fighting with Ernie. She said, Ernie, you better get your ass fucking waving that terrible towel. You better get your fucking ass waving that terrible towel. The Steelers are coming to town. We're making that trip upstate. Ooh. And it's going to be, I think, going to be a bad weather game. This team's built. Yeah, I know, that's pretty funny. We could beat Buffalo. I think it's the best matchup we can pull. And then we get to go on to Baltimore, I believe. So that's even better. I'd rather play Baltimore than Miami or Kansas City. Straight the hell up. Yep. You're injured a year. Injured a year. 100,000,000% injured a year. So And this is a Yinzer, Stiller, just old school type of fucking football that I like to see, man. Blue collar, it's just Pittsburgh Steelers football, boy. You gotta love it. Yeah, I think we have a really good chance. Even Ernie, who is losing faith, thinks we could beat Buffalo. So, let's go, baby. Let's fucking go. Would have liked to face Miami because I definitely believe we beat them. But Josh Allen is a turnover machine. That's what we need. We got to get the lead early and get him to turn the ball over and really run the ball. And Mason just take what defense gives him. I'm hard headed as hell too. I'll say I'm hard headed on my Tomlin shit because I've been pushing it for so long, and I see it every day in my timeline, and it's good for views. And I mean, it's like seriously, even every off season, something to talk about, really. And I really look at it and research like his career, and a few playoff wins right now cements him as a top 10 coach all time in playoff wins. So I'm not going to get off that, and I'm going to keep pushing that he's a great coach, and that's my narrative that I'm going to keep pushing. And I've been pushing for years. Like the pace he was winning is unbelievable. It's kind of like Sean McDermott, and he found a way to get his team in the playoffs too. So if they make a run in the playoffs, shoo, there's a lot of great coaches in the league right now, cementing legacies. And this is a huge style. Just look at the AFC, man. Harbaugh, Super Bowl winner. Reed, Super Bowl winner. Tomlin, Super Bowl winner. It's a tough road. McDermott wants to be a Super Bowl winner and has really turned Buffalo into a well-oiled machine that is going to be no cupcake and no gimme. But I think we can win by making them one-dimensional on offense and getting a lead early. That's why I said earlier, if we win the coin toss, take the ball and just try to take the life out of the crowd just by punching one in. Nice, long, 13 play, fucking 79-yard drive, bro, would be amazing to tee off and kick off the game. And then just let the Blitzburg Steelers be the Blitzburg motherfucking Steelers. Bring the house. Losing TJ is definitely going to hurt. I was saying that earlier that we got an insurance policy, though, with Herbig and Golden. Of course, it's not TJ, but they invested. They were ready this year in case that man went down because he is a difference maker and is definitely in Steeler Nation have been declared defensive player of the year. But who knows where it's going to go? Miles might get it. Parsons might get it. Who the hell knows who they're going to give that shit to? But it is what it is. I like Tallman. I think we would be stupid to get rid of him. He's been through a lot this season. I think with how the season went, we should make next season a make or break. I don't think it's make or break. I was saying make or break if we don't win a playoff game. If we're going to win a playoff game, we got to win a playoff game. They'll probably extend him. I think he's pretty much earned his contract realistically. But to me, if we don't win a playoff game and he has 1 year left on his deal, why not just wait? And then if he wins a playoff game or two or three, then do it. But I really think we're going to beat the Bills, and I think we're going to win a playoff game, and I think he's going to get signed for 2 years. He has 1 year left, and Mason will get signed for 3 years. So Tomlin will have this 1 year and then a 2 year extension, and Mason for 3 years, and he's going to have to try to turn his quarterback room around and keep going forward with this defense that they're building and the build around. I mean, those are the staples, and that's the foundation of this team right now. Essentially, is Cam Hayward, Minka Fitzpatrick, and TJ Watt. Those contracts are the whole foundation that we build this team around. And We already invested a first round pick. We invested a little money in Mason, basically a little bit more than Mitch. And that's not a huge investment in a quarterback room. And you know, we might have the best deal in the league, and then we can just add in just a plethora of talent around Mason, like Ben wanted his whole career and cried and whined and bitched and moaned about because we drafted Mason in what, like the third round to be a backup and maybe take his spot because he was threatening retirement every other damn year. And then going, oh my God, why'd you draft a quarterback? Well, because you're a franchise quarterback and you're talking about you may retire. What do you mean? There's got to be a plan in place to move on from you. And there really wasn't a plan until Kenny Pickett. That's who they thought was going to be the plan, but the plans didn't really go according to plan. So now here we are. So if we can get him at 15 a year, which I think is fair, which I think is cheap, that would be 30, 45 million. Maybe just give him 50 million total. If you can get him at 50 million total for 3 years, 55 million, I think that's what it could be, something like that. Because they always give like a bonus and shit. So there'll be something on the back end of it too. So it could be something like that, which seems like a lot, but from a salary cap perspective, like 15 is not a big like percentage of the cap for your quarterback. And if we keep getting him to play like the way he's playing, that'll be the fucking biggest deal in the league for 3 years. Oh my lord! Come on, we just have his first prime, and then once his prime's up, and we keep drafting talent around him, then we finally draft another quarterback. Who knows? Maybe there might be the Tomlin dynasty we'll be talking about next. Who knows? It starts with one game, though, I guess. Ben, I think, threatened retirement because he just didn't like Todd Haley. He wanted to get traded, dude. There's another thing. See, it's hard to remember every little thing, too, when I'm doing it live. That's why it's nice. You guys have been giving great comments. He even wanted to get traded, dude. He was trying to get traded, and there was reports that he wanted to get traded when they got Haley in there. And everybody hated Haley and wanted Haley to get fired. I like Todd Haley. We had a number one offense with Haley. Yeah, we had to run the ball more. Boo-hoo, Ben. Sorry. We got a bell cow running back. Fuck you crazy. He won the pad stats. I swear, like he won. I swear, bro. He's like, and he'd go out there 5 wide all the time and shit, just doing whatever he wanted to do. He's like that asshole manager that wears like 29, 35 different pieces of flair that just thinks they're like, it's just, nah, bro, get the fuck out of here. That abuses their authority. And he had all the authority in the world, too much authority. That's probably on Tomlin. I think that might come all the way from the top because Tomlin pretty much came into the thing and he was pretty much like just trying, I want the reins. So obviously Tomlin gave it to him a little bit. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And from the organizational standpoint, that's pretty much what they wanted because they were paying him the most money. So I think we definitely need to keep adding, even though how well this defense is this year. We got to get better. We got to get better. It got to get better than it was. We got to add pieces to keep building on that foundation and mix and match it a little bit. Got 7 picks. And I could see like 4 going to offense and 3 going to goddamn defense. We might have like 8 or 9 picks this year. So 4 and 4. Split them up. First round pick on an offensive lineman. Second round pick on defense. Third round pick on a wide receiver. Fourth round pick on defense. Fifth round pick on defense. Maybe add a little bit of depth on the offensive line again. There you go. And defense. And like I said, even like a punter wouldn't be bad. I was just wondering because I don't care about anything Ben says about the Steelers. I don't mean shit to me, but that's just me. What did you say? Did you watch Ben? No, I didn't watch Ben's podcast. No, I said that earlier. The past decade has hurt Tomlin. He needs to revitalize playoff success, or he will be or should get heat. It is what you have. You have done for me lately business. There is no banners for losing seasons. That is true. There is banners for division championships, though. We didn't get a division championship this year, and that is true. We do want to win championships, but you got to get there. There's a lot of teams that aren't even here right now. Cincinnati was supposed to be here right now. We're supposed to be at 8.5 wins right now. Just so happens we got 10, and we snuck our way in the playoffs, playing the best football of the Steelers season, coming off 3 wins in a row, going into an environment that I think this team is just truly built for. So the playoff success starts now. And the biggest thing, and see, this is why I think Ben, he was threatened by fucking Mason. He was threatened by the Haley offense because it kind of puts him back in a role of where he doesn't have full control of the offense. He's got to rein it in a little bit. We don't want you going out there spreading it out. We got a running back. We got to utilize the running back. We got to get back to running the ball. We got to get back to the basics. And that's really what this rebuild, I think, has been about from the top down. From the top down, not just Tomlin. Like, I think Tomlin's definitely doesn't have, is not a Bill Belichick or an Andy Reid to where he has a GM status or where he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And he's kind of more of a fucking puppet. A puppet, pretty much. A puppet is what he is a lot of the times. And that's just, I don't care who the coach is, bro. That's just how the Rooney's are going to run that shit. You're going to end up in a dumpster somewhere. No, I'm just kidding. That was an attempt at dark humor. It was bad. But that's how they run their organization, all right? You're going to do what they say, and that's that. And that's how it goes. And that's how it came in there. Ben has the keys. Like, when he came in, Ben has the keys. And he says, okay. But yes, sir. But yes, sir. And that's just how it goes, man. Watch it because I watch it since it's very similar to Dale Jr.'s podcast. See, that would make for good content, man, honestly. Because he does get a lot of views, and it creates for drama, and it creates for stories. And this is going to be, I'm making a Ben Roethlisberger playlist on this channel because I already know that it's going to be coming. And I have been starting to watch it a little bit. Like, I did sit there and watch one day. I think it might have been with TJ. I clipped it. It's a good clip. I should have watched the Tomlin one more, and I got to really look. He's done like 37, 38. Now he's doing everything. He's like really pushing this shit now. So, I mean, McAfee's making big dough with this shit. So he's trying to follow in his footsteps, man. And he's getting big names on his podcast. So I really like that idea. He should do that. That would make for great content, great stories. And that's really, it's so much what Steelers fans, bro, and Steelers media, bro. It's crazy. All these stories and bullshit and nonsense. But really, when you look at it, like in baseball, the Raiders are who puts you in the Hall of Fame. I think the NFL has a select committee of Raiders that puts you in the NFL. I mean, I think if you're on YouTube, isn't that the point? Why are you on YouTube if you don't want people to watch you? Like I was saying, if you're on a public platform, you're putting yourself on a public platform to be viewed. I don't care about being famous. I like building a nice Steelers community. And then when the off season comes, it does get slow. I mean, I can talk about the draft all day, but you only can do that so much, really. I mean, free agents, signings. I mean, there probably will be a lot to talk about. But I would like to mix some more shit in. And I think I should just keep it super, super local. I was going to do NBA. And I was even thinking about doing a Celtics video last night because I'm a diehard NBA fan. And I haven't even been following the NBA, but I was just thinking of their roster. I was just sitting there thinking about trying to fall asleep, couldn't fall asleep. And just, I don't even know. I was watching highlights or something. I was thinking about the Celtics and their roster and how fucking stacked they are, bro. I was like, they're the best team in the league. I went and looked at their record. They're dominant. They're the best team in the league. And I was thinking about doing a Celtics video and declaring I'm a Celtics fan. Like Still Maiden declares when he's a fan. Because in high school, when I was a kid, I ain't gonna lie, I grew up rooting for Cleveland because they was on the local station all the time. Forget what it was back in the day. But they was on a local station, and LeBron came in the league, and that's when I always watched basketball, even back to the Jordan days, Rodman and Pippen and shit. But ever since LeBron left Cleveland the first time, I was pretty much just a LeBron hater. And the Celtics made the big three at the time. So I started rooting for the Celtics to beat LeBron. Rajon Rondo, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, Glenn Baby Davis, Kendrick Perkins. Had Eddie House coming in there, schmanking threes. That Scalabrini dude was good too. He was good for Boston. He was like a Boston called icon, kind of he's like a Brett Kiesel. He was like a Brett Kiesel for Pittsburgh. Beard to beard. Ah, it's funny but true. Kiesel was probably better than Scalabrini, you know. Forget what his nickname was. Celtics are a storied franchise like the Steelers, pretty much. You go back to the Bill Russell days, to Larry Bird days, Garnett days, and now they're set up, bro. Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Porzingis playing center, 7'3". They can stretch and score from anywhere and handle. It's unbelievable. Tatum playing the 4, or you can swing him to the 3. Brown playing the 3, or you can swing him to the 2. You got Drew Holiday at point guard, bro. I mean, y'all are stacked. I think they can win it all this year, too. Paul Pierce was my favorite Celtics. I'm a Celtics fan because Pittsburgh don't got a team, so I'll be local there. I wish Pittsburgh had a team. I don't really have a team. I guess I root for Cleveland. Cleveland's good. The Celtics, I mean, I did like Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce was dirty in the playoffs. I remember that one playoff run him against LeBron. He was all up in LeBron's grill and shit. And LeBron kind of fucked it up, and the Celtics went on to win. Now, you know how I really liked? Because I like playing basketball. And I like point guards. I just like point guards. And Rajon Rondo, like, he kind of was a nobody. Really. And Doc Rivers, who was a point guard, picked him up, and he was like just a perfect fit. Like, he couldn't shoot, but he could really handle the ball and was creative at passing. And he had Paul Pierce and fucking Ray Allen at the wings, and Garnett stretching it and doing post moves. And then a plethora of big guys that can just set him picks to where he can do whatever he wants. And then Rondo just started dropping dimes, and he was athletic and played defense. And I think Rondo, he's a Hall of Famer. I like the Celtics, man. I bought our LeBron rookie card. That's the only thing that got me hyped for a basketball team to win as a Pittsburgher. Speaking of Pittsburgh, that in Carl Hungus, I don't know if you took that from the Big Lebowski, but it seems like you took that from the Big Lebowski. That Frances McDermott or whatever her name is that was in that movie. Was she in that movie? I don't think she was in that movie. She's been in a bunch of Coen Brothers movies. I don't know if she was in that one. She's from Monessen though. She might not have been in that movie. She's in Fargo and a couple other ones they did. Burn After Reading. She wasn't in that one, but she's from Monessen. You're pretty good at the clickbaiting. I'll give you that. I couldn't tell if you were trolling or serious or something. It was about Pickett, Mason, Mitch, Tomlin. I was confused. Well, that's what like the thing is. Back when I was saying Mason should have been the starting quarterback and we shouldn't have drafted a quarterback, and everybody was saying I'm crazy. When I don't have those videos anymore, but did used to say that, and I was all for Mason. It was just an organizational, just away from the way the organization builds it, the way because I really like looking at salary cap and I like doing off season content. So there's going to be a ton of off season content that's still going to be coming, and I can really just keep this channel just Steelers and just keep rolling content out in the off season. But I would like to mix it up and add more. But that's neither here nor there. Just the way we were set up. Mason had 1 year left on his deal. It's different. He's playing with his contract. So now we still have a huge question marks going into the offseason. And we did invest a first round pick in Kenny Pickett. And we did have the first wild card spot with Kenny Pickett as the starter. And Mason did have just one good game against Cincy that wasn't great. So, I mean, the switch, he played on the injury, and then he had 2 great games, now 3 great games to where it's a no-brainer. You can't even question it now. And everybody in the fan base was just so gung-ho on Pickett and how he was going to be like the next Marino. And he ain't. And it's sad, but is he a bust? Is that what we're declaring? I don't know. There's so many questions to go in next season. How much he's worth, everything. Carl Hungus, that's his name. In the porno, Carl Hungus. The cable guy or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I don't even know the director. I don't even know. I love that movie though. I gotta download it again and watch it. I haven't seen it in forever. It's hilarious. It's like a cult icon. I guess that's what this channel's gonna have to be, a cult channel. I don't know. For Steeler fans. But I can bring in Pens and Pirates. If I start bringing in Pens and Pirates, especially there's that like part of the off season when it's really dead, and that's like when there's nothing but baseball on. So I could get real shit's drunk ass up here, try to convince them to stop porn bombing people, and start talking Pirates baseball. And it'll just be angry Pirates rants, I guess, because we suck. There's nothing to look forward to. And the franchise, you want to talk about the Steelers and the Pirates and how they're different. Oh, they're polar opposites. I mean, the Steelers pretty much do whatever they can to compete every year, and the Pirates do pretty much everything they can do to be the biggest pieces of shit in the whole face of the MLB. And just a joke and a laughing stock. They're doing anything they can to get people in the stands, and they still can't get people in the stands because they're a joke. And it is a franchise with a great history, culturally, and one of the best in MLB history. Most World Series, great players, Honus Wagner, Roberto Clemente. I mean, the list goes on. Barry Bonds, even though he's a steroid cheating loser, he never was caught, but is what it is. That's Mark Madden's favorite player. Just funny. Cheater, a fraud, just like him. There's T-Bob. Real shit poem, Robert Mahaven. Good. I'm glad. He deserves it. So I don't let nobody up here. You can't trust none of these people in here. I mean, I guess I have to trust Ernie to come up here. Runt could come up here, I guess. I mean, I'd have to do a whole Discord. It'd be like a Showtime Discord to where only certain people are allowed to come up here. Because I haven't been as consistent as I want to be with this channel, but I have been pretty consistent making videos. And especially with this Mason Kenny story, I was busting out videos left and right. Because, I mean, it is a big story. Maybe I was getting a little clickbaity with it, but it's a huge story. And we still have Mason on contract. Or not Mason, Kenny. We still got that bum Bibitsky still on contract. So there's still moves that got to be made, and good moves that can help this franchise be even better next year. And the Ravens just paid Lamar a buku bucks. The Browns are Deshaun Watson, who got the guaranteed contract, $66 million next year. And the Bengals just paid Burrow big bucks. And he's coming off yet another injury. So it's going to be harder for them to go out there and buy talent because they just paid their quarterbacks huge money. And with a Mason Kenny quarterback room, it's very cheap, and we can really build a great roster around them. And if we strike gold, which we've been striking with Mason, and keep striking gold, this team could be nice. I mean, I could watch NBA. I just don't know what I want to bring to the town because I got all these Steelers fans on here basically subscribing to me. And I just do some random Lakers shit or some random Celtics shit. It's kind of like, you know what I mean? But there is like a dead point in the off season as a content creator. There's not much to really talk about. I mean, I could talk about it. There's a million different draft scenarios, but Clemente was a true hero. He died in a plane crash trying to give to charity to his home in Puerto Rico. I read a book about him. And what's crazy is a lot of the players didn't like Roberto Clemente. A lot of them old school dudes. And the league didn't really like, it was really totally adjusted the players like Roberto, and they didn't like him. And he was getting all the shine. He was getting the media hype. And the media didn't like him too because they said he was like off with the media. And it might have been a little bit of a cultural difference, I guess. He was flashy. He took days off to, he was kind of like load management before load management. If he said he wasn't feeling good, he would take days off. But he did play some of the most games in Pirates history looking back at it. But if he wasn't feeling good, he wasn't playing. He could hit the opposite field. He could do everything. Hit for 3,000 hits. And some people said he played for himself because he like made a big show when he hit his 3,000 hit. Like it was a whole big. This dude went around like all of Pittsburgh and interviewed every player for the Pirates. I forget what the dude's name was. It was a good boy. I mean, he interviewed everybody deep for like hours long interviews of all these players. It's a pretty good book. He wrote a bunch of books. But at the end of the day, yes, he died trying to help the people of Puerto Rico. And he will always be remembered as a legend. And he was a great player. Won 2 World Series with the Pirates. So, I mean, I think one, maybe 2. I don't know. But he's great. I mean, the Madden stories, some of these Pickens stories, TJ Watt stories, Madden straight up lied about before. So, yeah. They do anything for ratings too. It's a business at the end of the day. Sometimes I do it. That's why I don't like to do videos like that everybody's talking about. But like Because like that George Pickens shit, I thought it was just like a bunch of bullshit. Nothing really even. I thought it was just a bunch of nonsense. And then Antonio Brown's making comments to just add fuel to the fire. Ben making comments that this is all this circus surrounding like players that are not even on the damn team. But if you look at this team, especially after they won that game, like I wish I could pull up that short when they're all damn. Why gonna strap take over, bro? Like I shared it on my community post. Like they're in it. They're just together. I think this team and it's all about them right now. And it's them versus the world. And it's Pittsburgh versus the world. Kind of like back in the 70s, back when nobody was a Steelers fan outside of Pittsburgh. And then, and then they became a dynasty and they wanted to make them America's team. They said nope. And then the second tier shit stained Cowboys, aka T-Bob's team, decided to take that claim. And they're going to end up blowing it in the playoffs. And now it's time to get back on the playoff track for the Steelers that we're accustomed to. Maybe get one or two this year, work out the kinks in the off season, and then go back retooled, ready to go, and get into the Super Bowl. And have that 3-year window with Tomlin on his 3-year deal, Mason on his 3-year deal, Kenny still locked down. And then maybe you do decide to draft a guy. Maybe not with a first round, but a second or a third. Maybe even a fourth. That just has a whole different type of skill set. Or you get a Justin Fields, like World should saying. You get him on a cheap and bring in a third quarterback like a Justin Fields. To where even if he ain't the starter, you can have a package for him. That would be very interesting. We'd really be changing the game then. So there's options, man. You have options. And the Steelers definitely need to leave them open. So the offseason is going to be interesting. And this week's going to be interesting. And this game's going to be interesting. There'll be a ton to talk about still. I've noticed shorts do really good. I've noticed tags, putting hashtags in the description, filling out your description helps. Little things that I wasn't doing too a lot that I'm going to be doing more will help get you seen and recommended. That's key. And it's like building a blockchain with your channel with tags to where it's recommendable. Doc Ellis of the Pittsburgh Pirates threw a no-hitter on June 12, 1970, and later stated that he accomplished the feat under the influence of LSD, aka acid. Yeah, he'd wear his curlers and shit out there on the mound, throw curveballs. Doc Ellis didn't play. Tripping on acid, bruh. Yeah. Oh, man. I do shorts and I can put hashtag on as many as it'll let me put. See, I hate doing that. Little tedious ass shit like that. I fucking can't stand doing. Do I need to do more? I mean, I try to be entertaining with my videos too. I mean, I come in with the hype and rah. Seeing this with YouTube, it's entertainment. I mean, I believe in the Steelers, bro. Like I've been saying, like I watched the Steelers in 05 have to win all them goddamn games in a fucking row, and then go into the playoffs and have to win. What was it? Into the jungle against Cincy, into Indianapolis and Tony Dungy, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison. I mean, do I need to go on with all the names? Dwight Freeney, Bob Sanders, Robert Mathis.
They even had a good inside linebacker. I can't remember his damn name. He wasn't no like Pro Bowler, but he was a perfect fit for their scheme. Good in coverage. Guy that can play all three nickel, dime, base. He was just that dot around that good defensive line. Pretty decent secondary. With the offense, unbelievable. Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edwin James, Dallas Clark, Brandon Stokely, Jeff Saturday at center. Beat them. And then John Lynch, Chan Bailey, Jake Plummer. And the Denver Broncos in mile motherfucking high, bro. Then on to Detroit to get one for the bus. And I've been talking about this shit. I've been going live for so long, bro. It's crazy. Trying to get my watch hours up. What's crazy is they don't like count them, bro. I'll go off of here and I'll barely get any watch hours on my shit. And even though there was some good, there was like what 13, 14 in here earlier. Now it's died down a lot, but even with you 6 people watching right now, this should be steady 2 hours. I should have, you know what I mean? I won't get nowhere near what I should have right now. Whatever 7 times 2 is 14 hours at least. I'll get like an hour. It's weird. That's why, I got this OBS and I think my video content's going to be a lot better. Because what really I think sells too is, I don't know, I got to do polls. And anything you want. Add comments. I don't even know. But it's like these stories. Like if I'll do like a Mark Madden thing, if I could start throwing in like a Paul Zeiss and a Andrew Filipponi and a lot of these local guys, and what they're saying, a Mark Kolobi or however the hell you say his name. I won't even be so hateful to Kolobi because I don't think he's just a slandering piece of shit. Like he gives his opinion, maybe every once in a while he's a dick and he'll get on the team or whatever. But Madden is just ridiculous. Like I said, we go 17-0 or 16-1. You can cry about that one loss. Fire everybody. And that's what it was after game 1 for a lot of Steelers fans. Fire everybody. Tomlin era is over. Steelers suck. Tear it down. Stephen A. Tear it down. It's over. Steelers are abysmal. They suck. And then he'll be so happy when the Cowboys lose. Why is that? Why is you so happy when the Cowboys lose all the goddamn time, Stephen A? I'll tell you why. All 6 people watching. I'll tell you why right now. Because he's a Giants fan. He's not a real Steelers fan. Those are cold, hard facts. Just trying to be upset. He just does it for the ratings. And I could really go on and on and on about him. I have my cell in my hand and 2 tablets running your podcast in the other rooms. I will trick it. You're the man, bro. Shout out Steelers Freak. Steelers Freak might get injured of the week here because he's been coming through clutch with a lot of good comments here. You ain't getting injured a year like Grunt, Steelers Freak, but might get or Steeler of the year like Grunt because she's been pretty much in every stream and has bitch been positive and had faith for this team the whole damn year. So, but you bring a lot of good comments, bro. Shout out to you. Shout out to Runt. All right. You know what? You gotta go to the corner, bro. You don't do that, bro. You know I don't sound sitting here, T-Ball. You gotta go to the corner or go do a live about me and cry about it. You're going on timeout. Fuck, I can't even see my comments now.
So I did that, but I think I'm gonna end this live anyway. I usually do an hour. It's 2 hour power hour. So shout out to everybody. It was a pretty good stream. Started to die down though. I'm getting tired. It's time for bed. So here we go, baby.